And we are live from the CSI Sports and Recreation Center here on the campus of the College of Staten Island. Welcome aboard, everybody, here for College of Staten Island basketball as your Dolphins take on the Bridgewater Eagles here in the second leg of the first day of the 15th annual Tournament of Heroes. Welcome aboard, everybody. Michael Cohen and Mike Bebuski bringing you all the action here this evening as the Dolphins take on the Eagles in what will be a tremendous night and an emotional night as well. As the Dolphins taking on the Eagles, both teams have been playing good basketball this year. The Dolphins come in with a record overall at 5-5 on the year as they try to rebound from a difficult loss in their last appearance on the court, and that was a little over a week ago against Wagner College D1 school, a game that they did lose by a score of 94-42. And they will take on a very good Eagles team as the winner of this game will take on Middlebury in the championship game of this Tournament of Heroes. The loser will take on Illinois Wesleyan in the consolation game tomorrow at 5:30. Mike, a tremendous night of basketball. We saw a tremendous first game as Middlebury found a way to survive and beat the 18th ranked team in D3 hoops in Illinois Wesleyan 77-75 as Jack Daly turns out to be the hero with a huge bucket with 1.6 seconds to go in the opener.
Yeah, you know, Mike, it was a really exciting opening game. It was a game that Illinois Wesleyan fell behind early in the game. They took a 12-point lead, 37-25, with just a few minutes remaining in the first half. But, you know, from there it was Middlebury that went on a big run to end the first half and a big 13-0 run in the second half. I believe the total run was like 24-3, and they were able to use that to jump out to a double-digit lead. You got to give Illinois Wesleyan a lot of credit. They fought their way all the way back in the game and actually tied it with a 6-0 run over the final 2 minutes. But as you mentioned, Mike, Daly hit the jumper, and Middlebury will advance into the championship game tomorrow night. And, you know, for the College of Staten Island, Mike, they were able to win the Tournament of Heroes for only the second time last year in 14 attempts. So they'll be looking to defend their Tournament of Heroes championship, and that will start tonight against Bridgewater College.
Yeah, we'll start against Bridgewater College, and as we talked about, CSI coming off of a loss their last time out, but keep in mind this is a Dolphins team that sits atop the Kuniak standings. They are 4-0 in conference. They've played very well in conference this year, as they are 4-0 in the conference, 5-5 overall. Their last time here at home at the Sports and Recreation Center was back on December the 6th. It's been a while when they beat up CCNY 84-63, a big day for the Dolphins that evening. As we go back in time just a little bit, and CSI got off to a 44-29 start in that first half and would cruise on to win. Kevon Murphy had a big day that day. He had 21 points and was 8 of 12 shooting, and also 5 of 6 from the free-throw line. Eden Brocic had 18, and Frank Schettino 15. Mike, you were here for that ball game. Your thoughts of what the Dolphins are able to do from that game to this point in time?
Well, you know, Mike, you know, as you mentioned, you really don't get to play very much basketball, you know, in December. And, you know, the Dolphins had that really tough game against Wagner. It was one of those worst-case scenario games for the Dolphins as Wagner really blew out the Dolphins early in that game, and the Dolphins were non-competitive. So if you're CSI here tonight, you're looking to bounce back in really your final 2 non-conference games before the conference schedule really kicks off in earnest. And, you know, Mike, you mentioned before the Dolphins playing well in the conference. They're already 4-0 in their conference games. And, you know, beginning next Wednesday, they will begin a series of conference games where they will basically have only the Martin Luther King game against Kane University break up what really is going to be all Kuniak games from this point forward. So for the Dolphins here tonight, they're really looking to bounce back against a tough loss against Wagner and really get back on the winning tracks and try to get a win here in the first game of the Tournament of Heroes and try to advance into tomorrow night's final round game.
One thing that'll be key for the Dolphins is, one, to jump out in front, but also to shoot well. When the Dolphins shoot over 45%, they are 5-1 in those ball games and have held opponents to just 38% shooting on their home floor, which is very, very important if the Dolphins, again, are going to win this game tonight against a very good Bridgewater team that does shoot the ball very well, they've got to find a way to play good defense, get rebounds, force turnovers, and obviously connect on their shots here in this basketball game today. And starts again with Schettino and Khalid Baum. I mean, Baum's been maybe their best and most consistent shooter this year, and Schettino, of course, makes everything happen for this Dolphin offense.
Yeah, he really does, Mike, and they're really counting on him. And the issues with the Dolphins this year has really been offensively, Mike. They come out, they do play pretty well defensively. They're a little bit undersized, but at times they really do struggle offensively from the floor, and they go long periods of time without being able to put up points. So Dolphins will look to work on that here this afternoon. They're playing a Eagles team without a huge amount of size. Both opponents, Middlebury and Illinois Wesleyan, much bigger than this Bridgewater team. Bridgewater coming up from Virginia. It's their first appearance in the Tournament of Heroes. And like Middlebury, who also had their first appearance in the Tournament of Heroes earlier this afternoon, they're going to look to be victorious as well. So it's going to be a tough matchup against a Bridgewater team that plays at a pretty good conference, Mike, and plays pretty good basketball.
They do. They play in a very good conference, team that comes from Virginia. They are 2-0 in the Old Dominion Athletic Conference as well this year, so they've done a very good job there. But a couple things here to note on this Bridgewater team. A couple things to stand out player-wise. Bryce Bogues has had a tremendous year. He's shot at 47% from the floor, hits at 76% from the free-throw line. And Fob Balfour, another big player from the free-throw line as well. But the couple of guys that stood out for me, Jesse Case and Kevin Saylor, both of those guys hit their three-pointers at a very good rate. Saylor hits it at 42% and Case at 32%. So if you get into a situation where, let's just say, Bridgewater needs some points, maybe they're down 6 or 7 points, they'll probably look to one of those guys to get them back in the ball game, or maybe even give them a lead. So the Dolphins have to be ready for the three-point shot, and also can't afford to foul these guys because they do hit their free throws.
And you mentioned Mike Bryce Boggs, the transfer player from South Virginia University, a junior transfer, transferring into the Bridgewater program this year and coming out leading the Eagles, 18.8 points a game and almost 4 rebounds. So he's really the leading scorer and somebody that the Dolphins are going to have to come out and play well against defensively. And, you mentioned, Mike, the Dolphins really struggled in that game against Wagner Colleges. They were only able to put up 42 points in the game. And, Mike, I can't remember the last time the Dolphins were held to as few as 42 points in a basketball game.
So a chance for redemption here for the Dolphins. Now, this is the 15th annual Tournament of Heroes. This is an opportunity for us to remember the lives that were lost on September 11th, 2001. This is the 15th annual anniversary of that, and we had 3 players that we will honor a little later on. Dave Pizzuto will do the honors, and we'll take you to him in a little bit. And those 3 players that we will honor today are all Aiken, Davidson, and Hannafin. All 3 players, the only numbers retired in Dolphins history. Aiken was a computer consultant working on the 97th floor of the World Trade Center. Davidson was an FDNY ladder company. It was on FDNY ladder company 118, and he was one of the first to arrive at the tower on that day. And Hannafin was a member of ladder company 8, based out of Greenwich Village. And unfortunately, all 3 men ended up losing their lives that morning. Mike, I turn it to you for your thoughts about this day and this tournament and these 3 men.
Well, the program, of course, suffered on that day, and it was something where head coach Tony Petosa, really wanted to put something together in honor of those players, and really, it was really his work that put this together. And, it's hard to believe, Mike, 15 years have gone by since we've played that game. And, of course, the incident, of course, occurred on September 1st back in 2001. And, so much has happened in that time. And, again, it's this yearly opportunity to really just take a look back and remember what happened, and at the same time get an opportunity to see some great basketball. And that's something that all three of those players really loved, was the CSI Dolphins and basketball. And this is just a way to honor their memory and come out and play some good basketball. And we mentioned, Mike, that the Dolphins have only won this tournament twice, including last year. So it's not a tournament that they've always been tremendously successful in that they haven't won that many of them. But, there's more to this tournament than besides just basketball. But again, if you're a CSI Dolphin fan, you'd love to win here tonight and get into this championship game tomorrow night.
Yeah, it'll be a very good team that awaits them in Middlebury. And, folks, this is going to be a tremendous matchup between these two teams, Bridgewater and the College of Staten Island. We are about a minute and a half or so away from getting ready for this. We'll take it again to David Pizzuto, who will do the honors in the pregame. But before we close it out here, Mike, just want to get your final thoughts. What are the keys for the Dolphins here today?
Well, again, Mike, we mentioned earlier the Dolphins coming into today's game averaging just 74 points a game. They've actually allowed more points than they've scored. Of course, that number skewed a little bit by that last game against Wayne College. But, if you're the Dolphins, you're just looking for some way to find some consistent offense out of a lot of players. We've seen Kevon Murphy step up at times and play well offensively. We've seen Christian Taylor step up at times and play well offensively. Dolphins do have 4 players averaging in double digits per game. And, if the Dolphins could find a way to get a little bit more consistent offensively, the way that they've been playing defense, they should have a very successful second half of the season. And again, of course, if you're a CSI Dolphin fan, you're looking to win the CUNYAC championship once again, and it's been a while since they've been able to win it, Mike, and they've gotten off to a good start here in the conference with a record of 4-0. So, of course, you want to play well in these games, Mike. Of course, you want to win the tournament. But for the CSI Dolphins, the big thing is to get well and play strong beginning January 4th as the conference schedule really picks up and they jump in with both feet against Baruch College on that night.
And as we know, CSI right now at top of the CUNYAC at 4-0. Baruch right behind them at 3-0. Hunter right there as well, 3-1 in conference play, and conference play will resume a little later on. As for Bridgewater, they're right there in the middle with Guilford and Randolph-Macon. All three of them are actually at 2-0 in their conference. Right now, we'll take it down to the floor.
Our friend Terrence Andre Aiken was a member of the CSI basketball family for only a single season, which saw the Dolphins make the NCAA Division III National Tournament, winning 20 games. His coaches recognize him as someone who never let a good time escape him, even on the court, where his smile was just as evident during key and even stressful stretches of a game. Terrence took basketball seriously, but his joyful approach to the game was essential to that team. Off the court, he was gregarious in his approach, walking around smiling and offering kind words to even strangers he would encounter. As you may have read in tonight's program, head coach Tony Petoza carried the Terrence Aiken rule on bus trips: silence your cell phones. Indeed, Terry was one of the first to carry a cell phone back then, and it would constantly be attached to his ear. It all spoke to how infectious a personality he possessed. It also spoke to his passion for technology. Alongside the latest gadgets, Terrence enjoyed taking apart and putting computers back together again. It afforded him a position at Vital Computer Technologies at the World Trade Center. Terrence got into work early that day, only his 6th day at the job. At just 30 years of age, Terrence left behind a wife and 3 beautiful children. But more than anything, he left behind the persona that continues to leave everyone in awe even today. Born on Christmas Day, Terrence and his family always got together for the holidays. Tonight, we get together to honor him. Ladies and gentlemen, our hero, Terrence Aiken. Our next honoree, Scott Davidson, played for the Dolphins his entire 4-year career, starring on a pair of CUNY championship teams. He's sometimes hard to find in the score sheet. Scott was the one who rarely came off of the court, and yet sometimes he never took a shot. It spoke to his willingness to do all the little things needed to carry a championship team, and carry it he did. Scott was the first to put himself on the line for the team, sacrificing his body for loose balls, collisions on picks, and taking charges in the lane. He may have even picked up a few technical fouls or a few unmentionable words he would offer the officials, but who's counting? And yet it was this intense energy that made for the irony that surrounded Scott into his adult life. Ask anyone who knew him, and they'll all tell you that when it came to Scott's heart away from the court, he was as exuberant and playful as a kid at Christmas. And Scott insisted on spreading the holiday cheer to his friends and family. He picked up a few technical fouls from the New York Police Department because he would rig Christmas lights and had it hot-wired to his car battery. Scott was also known for surprise visits to his friends during the holidays, sometimes with gifts in hand, or simply a story or two to share during his favorite time of year. It's no small wonder that Scott's fiery personality and his love and care for others resulted with his entry into the New York City Fire Department, and later into the World Trade Center on September 11th. Even in the very worst of situations, Scott was doing what he has always done, put himself out there and head first, ready to take on whatever came at him. At the age of just 33, Scott left behind a loving family that included his wife Amy and 2 children. Often seen at CSI events and tournaments years after graduation, Scott was often a fixture in this building long after his playing days ended. Tonight is our chance to celebrate his energy, spirit, and unwavering heroism on September 11th. Ladies and gentlemen, our hero, Scott Davidson. Ladies and gentlemen, our final honoree tonight, Tom Hannafin, was a 4-year standout with the Dolphins from 1983 to 1987. He won 3 championships during his time here and is considered one of the more dynamic two-way players in CSI basketball history, etching a place in the record books in categories like assists and steals. His one-loss record over 4 years at the college can hardly be duplicated. His teammates and coaches will tell you that so long as Tom was on the court, CSI was in the game, feared no one, and was ready to do whatever it took to win. But for all the winning CSI did and all the records Tom was a part of, it's not what people remember most about him. For him, the basketball court represented more than just a showcase of skill. Rather, it was a chance to grow away from the court, a chance to make teammates brothers and turn friends into loved ones, forever linked in history. Tom was coined as the glue that held everything together. If a basketball get-together was at hand, Tom was the ringleader, organizing events for his teammates even well after his playing days were over. Tom was the guy known to take photo albums with him when visiting friends, to relive the great memories of his playing days, a reminder to who he was on the court, distributing the ball, making others around him better. In short, Tom brought the family atmosphere back to the team. In fact, mention Tom to his friends, even the ones he played with, and many of them won't bring up basketball at all, although he chose to play and love the game his entire life, even when he entered the FDNY. Instead, they talk of Tom's penchant for listening, jumping into a car to come to a friend's need, of taking time out to be at a brother's side at a moment's notice, and his affinity for saying motivating words to lift spirits and often sharing an embrace that meant more than mere words. It makes sense that Tom joined the fire department, where brotherhood and the selfless penchant for coming to the aid of another are standard fare. That desire translated at the World Trade Center. His unit was based in Greenwich Village and was one hit hardest by the attacks, as many in his house perished at the site that day. At the age of just 36, leaving behind 2 beautiful kids, Tom made the ultimate sacrifice a family member would make for another, and it's an honor to be here for him tonight. Ladies and gentlemen, our hero, Tom Hannafin. Ladies and gentlemen, the uniforms of Terrence, Scott, and Tom are on display on the bridge of the upper concourse of the gym above the main basket. Please feel free to visit the cases and say a silent prayer for them, their families, and all the brave men and women who served as heroes on September join us in a reception in the auxiliary gymnasium. Ladies and gentlemen, please join us in a standing ovation one more time for Terrence, Scott, and Tom.
So a very moving ceremony here, ladies and gentlemen, as we remember the lives lost of Terrence Aiken, Scott Davidson, Tom Hannafin. All three men lost their lives during the attacks of September 11th, 2001, 15 years ago. Mike, as you said, very hard to believe it's been 15 years since the terror attacks of 9/11, but their lives, they may not be here, but they will never be forgotten, as we all say, and that goes not just with them, but all those who may have ended up losing friends, family during that tragic day. So with that being said, we do have basketball here, Mike. We have the Dolphins getting ready to take on Bridgewater, and right now both teams are about to introduce each team. I'll go to you for starting lineups.
Okay, thanks a lot, Mike. First, for Bridgewater, they're traveling in from Virginia to play in the Tournament of Heroes for the first time here in 2016. And their starting lineup will be number 5, Kevin Saylor, number 12, their leading scorer, Bryce Boggs, number 22, Romello Crowell, number 24, F.A. Balfour, and number 30, Quixote Dennis. For the College of Staten Island, it will be the starting 5 that have started the last few games for the Dolphins. Number 1, Khalid Baum, number 3, Eden Bracic, number 4, Frankie Scittino, number 21, Kavan Murphy, and number 31, Robert Rossiter. The Dolphins coming in with a record of 5-5, including a 4-0 record in the conference. Bridgewater coming in with an overall record of 5-4, but 2-0 in the Old Dominion Athletic Conference, as both teams are coming in, playing their first game after the Christmas holiday, Mike. And for the Dolphins, as we mentioned, the final game before 4 consecutive conference games, broken up by the traditional Martin Luther King game at Kane University this year on January 16th, and then Dolphins will get right back into conference action, 6 more consecutive games through February, as the conference schedule and basketball, Mike, really will pick up after the start of the new year.
Yeah, the weather may get frigid, but the basketball will start to heat up as we head towards January and, of course, the new year in 2017. As we are about ready to tip things off here between the Dolphins and the Eagles, Bridgewater wearing their burgundy jerseys in gold trim. Eagles written across the front in gold. Numerals as well in gold. Almost kind of like a little bit like the Boston College uniform in a lot of ways for Bridgewater tonight. And meanwhile, CSI wearing their traditional home whites with the black trim down the sides. Dolphins written across the chest in powder blue numerals in the front and the back of the jersey. The Kuniak logo on the back of the jersey as well. And we are ready for tip-off in just a few moments, as it'll be F.A. Balfour and as well Kevion Murphy. They will match up here and do the tip. We'll tip it off, it looks like. Or let's say Clegg Baum instead, rather. That's going to be one of the matchups to watch here, Balfour against Baum. 2 very good players, very good offensive and defensive players, and we'll see them match up, and they will tip it off here in this 15th annual Tournament of Heroes, and it'll be Bridgewater that wins the tip. Starting with the ball will be Romello Crowell, as he'll dish it off outside to Saylor. Saylor going back over to Dennis. Dennis now back out to Boggs. Boggs going inside between 2 Dolphin players, though, Scittino and Murphy, and he puts it in for 2 points, 2-0 in favor of Bridgewater.
Nice offensive move that time by Boggs.
Scittino working outside over to Murphy. Now he's working back up top. Actually, rather, not Scittino, Bracic, I should say. Now they go to Scittino, almost traveled to stop himself midway. Scittino works back inside to Bracic, has it tipped around, and it's taken away by Bridgewater. Going back around, this time to Dennis, top of the key, hands it off to Boggs, goes back now to Saylor on the outside. Saylor, 3-point shot, rattles around, no good. Rebound initially by Bracic, he lost handle of it. And that should stay Bridgewater basketball. Actually, That's going to be Bridgewater basketball.
Yeah, and that time Dennis looked like he might have gone over the back of Brocic, but the Eagles end up with the basketball.
Boggs working inside against Brocic. Has a tip around, and it's Brocic who wins the battle for the rebound. A little help from Khalid Baum as well. Schettino now working down court. Passes it across, and coming up and putting it up for a shot was Rossiter, but it's going to be knocked around and a foul call. Travel on the Dolphins. Dolphins do not like it.
Yeah, and that time Rossiter was able to get the ball back to Murphy, but he traveled before putting the ball on the floor. So the Dolphins 0 for 2 from the field and a turnover to start the game here this afternoon.
Dolphins came in shooting at only 45% on the season, 446 to be exact. And it will be going inside. Nice rejection there by Baum. Going inside was Crowell as he got rejected. Schettino going inside. Rossiter all alone puts it in for 2. We're tied up.
Beautiful look-away pass by the all-time leading assist leader, Frankie Schettino, for the Dolphins.
Frank Schettino so good at leading this Dolphins offense, both in scoring, assists, steals. You name it, he does it all for this Dolphins team. As that's tipped away, and that will be last touch by the Eagles. Brocic said it was touched by them, and the officials agree. So Brocic will inbound here to Schettino with 18:02 to go here in the first half. So we're just underway here if you're just rejoining us. Nice. At 7:49 p.m.
Sorry, Mike. Nice play that time by Brocic to knock the ball off of the Eagles and force the turnover. 1 turnover apiece here, just underway.
Schettino barking out the signals to his teammates as they set up the offense. Roster top of the key goes back over to Schettino. Schettino still on the outside. Working his way, gets a foul called, and looks like that will be called on Bridgewater, and that will be on number 34, Baumgartner.
Yeah, that's going to be on the freshman who checked into the game and picked up his first foul.
Phil Baumgartner and Zach Cope, I should say, are the ones that have checked in. Cope wearing number 33. Jesse Case also is checked in. Rossiter working inside, this time to Baum. Baum trying to get some help. He does. Goes back to Brocic. Three-pointer. He nails it. And Eden Brocic, who has been tremendous from long distance, 22 out of 66 this year. 33% hits another one. Dolphins now in front for the first time, 5-2.
Yeah, Bridgewater swarming inside defensively. Brocic able to hit the three-pointer.
This will be Baumgartner. Baumgartner going back out to Case. Case thought about going for 3, thought better of it. Goes back out to Baumgartner eventually. Baumgartner working against Schettino. Takes the off-bounds shot. It was a 3-point shot, I believe, but it's no good. Dolphins get the rebound. Here comes Schettino down court. Bounces off a player. Takes the awkward shot. No good rebound here for Bridgewater. Both teams have had their opportunities here. Both teams really haven't taken command here offensively. Dolphins on top 5-2. And an off-bounds shot here by Boggs, and he hits it. 5-4.
Yeah, so Schettino missed his first shot for the Dolphins, Mike. He struggled offensively in that game against Wagner. Dolphins need Schettino to be able to score, Mike.
Baum going over to Brocic. Brocic back outside in the corner, kicks it back out to Baum. They go inside here to Murphy. Murphy, very good inside presence, spins, turns, shoots. No good. Boggs with the rebound as he tried to bounce off of the back of Baum, but a foul is called, and it'll be going back towards the Dolphins.
Yeah, Mike, I think it's just going to be ruled that Bridgewater stepped out of bounds, so it'll be Dolphins to inbound the basketball with a fresh 30-second shot clock.
Nice job by Schettino. Gets the bounce off of the back of Saylor, and then puts in the points for 2. Dolphins now up 7-4.
Yeah, it's a clever play by Schettino. We've seen him do that a couple of times, Mike, throughout the years. Very astute veteran move there by Frank Schettino. Dolphins get the rebound. They make their way down court. Schettino trying to keep the ball alive. Regathers, sets, shoots. Rebound here by Murphy, puts it in, and it will count for the Dolphins. 2 points. Yeah, so that time a nice job by Kevon Murphy. He already has 3 rebounds in this game, Mike, as he was able to put that ball up and in. And like we saw in game number 1, Bridgewater and head coach and Staten Island high school basketball player Sean Potstiglione, the head coach, lots of substitutions for the Eagles here early in the game, Mike.
Murphy, a very good free-throw shooter, hits the 1-1. Now it's a 10-4 game in favor of the Dolphins. Murphy hitting at 63% from the free-throw line. Speaking of the head coach of Bridgewater, Sean Pastiglione is a Staten Island native, making his way back home with his Eagles. Eagles right now off on the offensive side here as Jesse Case working top of the key here against Roster. Needs some help. Passes it off to Essex Thompson. Back over to Case. Case now working back inside. Inside the paint. Passes it inside low. Nice job by Crowell, who tried to put it in, but the Dolphins react. Nice block. Jump ball. Dolphins fields against Bridgewater, and it is, and the Dolphins will get possession.
Yeah, so the Dolphins will get possession on the jump ball as that time. Dolphins coming out playing pretty good defense, Mike. Bridgewater just 2 of 8 from the field, or 2 of 9, I should say, to start the game here this afternoon, shooting just 22%. So the Dolphins doing a nice job defensively. Bridgewater already 9 players into the game, Mike. The Dolphins with their starting 5 still on the floor.
And for the starting 5 with points already, Shatino.
And I think he's going to get the foul called, Mike.
He does get the foul called. 10-4 Dolphins with the lead, 14:58 to go. Foul will be charged here to Boggs. That's his first. Dolphins will inbound here. Shatino inbounds over to Bracic. Bracic working inside here against Case. Passes it off back to Shatino. Goes inside of Baum, working against a 2-on-1. And a foul called away from the basketball, and that will be against the Dolphins, and it'll be a turnover back to Bridgewater.
Yeah, Mike, I think that's going to be a 3-second violation on the Dolphins, so the Dolphins will turn the ball over.
Chandler Murray now in for Bridgewater as he checks in. Murray, also a freshman. They have a lot of freshmen on this Bridgewater team. As working inside is Thompson. I stand corrected. That was actually Thompson working inside. He tried to make a play there, did not. Dolphins get the steal. Right now, Shatino working top of the key, goes back to Bracic, loses it initially. Working against Case, now back inside of Baum, working against Thompson, takes the off-bounds shot, no good. Nice rebound here by the Dolphins. Shatino takes the shot, and that will spin around. Nice tip in by Rossiter, and the Dolphins get points as a result. It's now 12-4. Timeout called, and looks like that will be a 30-second timeout. So, Mike, let's keep it here. What are your impressions so far?
Well, Mike, the Dolphins coming out shooting just 5 of 12 from the floor. Shatino just 1 of 2, but the Dolphins doing a great job rebounding the basketball. They've already out-rebounded Bridgewater 10-5, including 4 rebounds by Kevon Murphy. And the Dolphins have been able to use their size and strength to open up a early 12-4 lead in this game, Mike. So Dolphins coming out, playing pretty well, playing very well defensively, holding Bridgewater to just 2 of 10 shooting, Mike, 20%.
Yeah, Bridgewater has not been able to establish themselves offensively at all. Dolphins have been all over the basketball. Bridgewater is slightly undersized, but Dolphins, that certainly hasn't stopped anything here. Dolphins doing a nice job here defensively against this Bridgewater team as they hold an 8-point lead with 14 minutes to go. Right now, it will be Boggs as he looks outside. This to Thompson, goes back around the horn now. This time to Crowell. Crowell goes back inside, sees an opportunity, passes it off. Bounce is going to be rebounded off the top of the rim and then picked up on his own rebound and missed by Balfour, but a foul is called on the Dolphins, and that's their first.
Yeah, F.A. Balfour, Mike, really missed an open layup, and Bridgewater's missed a couple of open layups inside, but he did a nice job sticking with it and being able to draw the foul. And he will go to the free throw line to shoot 2 as Bridgewater tries to work their way back from a 8-point deficit. They trail by a score of 12-4.
Right now, F.A. Balfour at the free-throw line. Very good free-throw shooter at 74% on the year. Unfortunately for him, he does miss the first, so it's going to be 0 for 1 so far with 1 more to come.
And, Mike, the Dolphins in the middle of a 7-0 run, turning a 5-4 lead into a 12-4 lead. 1 more free throw upcoming here for Balfour.
Christian Taylor checks in here for the Dolphins. wearing number 23. And that will miss, but a foul called. Dolphins will get the basketball, though, as they lead it now 12-5.
Yeah, and that foul will be on Quixote Dennis, Mike. That's going to be his first, the team's fourth. So 4 quick team fouls on the Eagles here in the first half.
Schettino passing it off, this time to Christian. Christian checking in, gets the pass here from Brocic, works inside, takes the shot, bounces up and out. Knocked around here by both teams, but it's going to be the Eagles who come out with it. And they will maintain possession.
Yeah, Taylor's going to pick up the foul on the play, Mike. That's going to be his first, the second team foul on the Dolphins. So the Eagles will get to inbound the basketball now with a fresh 30-second shot clock.
13:25 to go here in the opening half. As will be Case working his way inside, passes it off to Thompson. Thompson going inside again, this time towards Balfour, but another stoppage called as substitution is made here for the Dolphins. As Vincent DeCunto will check in and Frank Schettino will take a break.
And DeCunto missed the first half of the season. He played 4 minutes in the Wagner game, and Dolphins glad to have him back in the lineup. He had a lot of clutch shots for the Dolphins over the last couple of years. So
underneath the legs of Balfour, and DeCunto picks it up. Dolphins on the transition, and Christian puts it up, bound with the recovery on the rebound, but jump ball foul called, and this looks like it'll go in favor of the Eagles and will go the other way.
Yeah, so that time Baum tried to go up among a couple of Eagle players, got tied up, and this time the possession arrow will go the Eagles' way. So it'll be their basketball, trailing by 7 with 13:01 remaining.
Jade Spencer also in for the Dolphins, wearing number 11, in case we did not say his name. Case right now with the basketball for the Eagles. Trying to set up this offense, gets a block, but foul called on the Dolphins, I presume. Blocking foul, so they'll maintain possession here. Will Bridgewater, a new 30-second shot clock.
Sorry, Mike, that's 2 quick fouls on Taylor.
Kevin Slater passing it off here to Case with a 3-point shot, no good. Nice rebound here for Saylor. Back out to Case. Case going back to Thompson, top of the key, goes over to Boggs. Back to Thompson in the corner, 3-point shot, no good. Battle for the ball. Nice rebound there by Bridgewater. They keep it alive as they still have a chance here offensively. 23 on the shot clock. They put it up, and rebound by Christian, and the Dolphins, in spite of the fact that Bridgewater had a nice possession there, Eagles do not score. Christian now with possession for the Dolphins, looking inside towards Murphy. Murphy working on a 2-on-against-1. Goes back outside to Brocic, back to DeCunto in the corner. DeCunto getting himself out of the corner now. Tries to set up the offense, going up against Case. Takes the shot with 5 on the shot clock and bangs the 3-pointer, and the Dolphins up by 10.
Yeah, and that's what Vinny DeCunto gives you, Dave, Mike, that ability to shoot the long 3-pointer. Dolphins with their biggest lead, it's 10.
Case going back out to Saylor. It has it stolen away here by Brocic. Brocic has numbers, puts it up and in for 2. Yeah, it's a 2-point play for the Dolphins as Eden Brocic going coast to coast to the hoop. It's 17-5 CSI. And the Dolphins continue to dominate here in the early going of this first half. Almost halfway through this first half. Right now, Saylor working his way in and puts it in for 2. Much needed bucket there for Bridgewater, as they're still down double digits, now down 10.
Yeah, that was a big basket, Mike. As you mentioned, Bridgewater really needed that. They've really been struggling with their shooting.
DeCunto working against Saylor. Spins around him, tries to pass it off, does, to Brocic for the 3, no good. Bounced away, this time Saylor has it, pushes it forward, but Brocic the first one to touch it, and last one to touch it as it goes out of bounds. It'll go back to the Eagles.
Nice hustle play that time by Brocic to come back and knock the ball away. So it'll remain Eagle basketball now, 10:54 remaining.
Dolphins 5 for 13 shooting so far, but Bridgewater has really struggled. 2 out of 14. Their offense has been very much silent so far here in this first half. As they'll go back outside, this time to Boggs. Boggs working up against The Dolphins pushing his way inside against Flag, but a foul is called on the travel. Boggs doesn't like it, but it was pretty clear that he did travel, and as a result, Dolphins get the basketball.
Yeah, actually, Mike, I think that's going to be an offensive foul called against Boggs, so that'll be his first and the team's fifth. So the Dolphins will have the basketball up 10:41 remaining.
DeCunto start off here for the Dolphins as he'll bring it down court. And it'll be Taylor Christensen working his way around the key right now for the Dolphins. Kicks it back out to Stephen Flagg wearing number 12. Flagg goes inside, has a bounce off the leg of Devarian Greer, and going coast to coast is Boggs, as he'll get the points there for the Eagles. Rather, nice job for Bridgewater.
Yeah, that time Boggs really took his time driving to the basket and was able to draw the foul and lay it up and in. So that's going to cut the Dolphin lead down to 8 as Shatito will check back into the game for Taylor.
Kevion Murphy drawing the foul for the Dolphins, his first. As the free throw shot, it bounces in and out, and rebound for the Dolphins, but foul called. It looks like it will be against Bridgewater, and it will be for the charge.
Yeah, now Boggs is going to pick up the foul, and that's a big foul
That
on
is big.
Boggs, Mike.
That's two now for him.
That's his two with 10 minutes left in the half, and he's going to have to go to the bench, and you know that's not something that head coach Sean Ponstiglione was looking for, and he doesn't like the call either. He's having a word with the official about it.
17-9, Dolphins in front, 10 minutes to go. Shatito spins around, takes the shot, and no good, but a foul was called first, and again, Ponstiglione not happy at all, as it looks like it'll be another foul called against the Bridgewater Eagles. And that will be on Davion Greer, his first for the freshman from Charlotte, North Carolina. Shatino will shoot free throws now, and he'll hit his first. Shatino, a very good free throw shooter this year, hitting at 53%. 42 out of 79. Pretty good free throw shooter this year. 18-9, Dolphins in front. Bounces in and out. Working inside, initially losing possession, and does lose possession, was Crowell. Dolphins get it back. Shatino kicks it back outside. Nice pass. As working his way in was Flagg, but the Dolphins unable to convert. Picked up and stolen away by Keontae Dennis for the Eagles, and the Eagles have possession here. Big three-point shot by Essex Thompson, no good. Bounces off the rim into the hands of Kevion Murphy for the Dolphins. Dolphins right now working quickly down court. DeCunto passes it off very swiftly over to Shatino. Shatino working inside, back up to DeCunto outside. Top of the key, Shatino working inside quickly. I don't know how Murphy held on to that one, but he did. Puts it up anyway. Battle for the basketball between Spencer and Dennis. And ends up being the Eagles and Dennis who wins that battle. Right now, Essex Thompson going back up to the top to Crowell. Crowell now working over to Greer. Greer working inside, and not before. A foul is called on the Dolphins, and that is only the fifth team foul for CSI.
Yeah,
Jade Spencer is second.
So Spencer's going to pick up his second, Mike, and Dolphins leading by a score of 18-9 in this game, but Frankie Shatino just 1 for 4 from the field, Mike. He was 0 for 8 in the Wagner game, so just 1 out of his last 12 for Shatino in the last 30 minutes of play, Mike. For the Dolphins to be successful, they need offense from Frankie Shatino.
And he has had a tough season, only hitting at 35% this year, so he's had his struggles in shooting. Right now, a very sluggish first half by both of these teams, but more so by the Eagles, who have not established themselves well at all.
Yeah, they're just 4 of 17 from the field so far here tonight, Mike.
And that will be good on the back end of the of 1 of 2. As that'll be a free throw for Greer. 18-10, Dolphins in front, 8:52 to go. Here in the first half, DeCunto going back over to Flagg. Looking over to DeCunto, back to Baum. Baum now to Shatino. Working around the word Dolphins here on the side court. Now works inside on the baseline jump shot, and that will be good for the Dolphins. It's now 20-10. Dolphins back on top by double digits.
Nice basket for Schettino. He now has 5.
Eagles with possession, going inside. Nice pass initially by Paul Brown, as going inside was F.A. Balfour.
And I
foul called here on the Dolphins.
I thought Balfour might have traveled before the foul, but instead the official will give the foul on the Dolphins. That will be on Lennon. That will be his first. Dolphins now with 16 fouls. Bridgewater with 7.
Vondrus Lennon, the freshman, drawing the foul for the Dolphins. And a nice shot there for number 5, Kevin Saylor.
Yeah, that time flag went up on the fake, and Saylor had the open jumper.
And it's 4 points for Saylor so far this evening for the Eagles. As spinning around and going inside is going to be Stephen Flagg as he puts in 2. It's now 22-12.
Beautiful move by Flagg. He's really picked up his game offensively here this year for the Dolphins.
Working around the corner, Paul Brown passes it off, this time to Saylor. Saylor going across, has it picked off, this time by Schettino. Nice job by Schettino in the right place at the right time. Goes outside DeCunto, open three-point shot and nails it. Big three-pointer for the Dolphins.
DeCunto loves that open three-pointer, Mike, and he's able to bury it. He's got 2 3-pointers here this afternoon, and that's what DeCunto was doing early in the year last year, Mike. 2 shots this game, both three-pointers, both successful. He has 6 points, and the Dolphins have their biggest lead of the game. It's 13-25-12.
Yeah, big day for Brocic as well with the 5 points. You have DeCunto with 6. Schettino, even though he struggled, has also had 5 points for the Dolphins so far. CSI hitting at 47% from the floor, but what stands out for us right now is that they have hit 75% on three-pointers so far tonight. That's really helped them out a lot, and their defense court's very sound as they have held this Bridgewater team to just 5 out of 8 shooting, and pretty much most of those points are just coming from 2 players, Boggs and Saylor.
And Bridgewater has turned the ball over 6 times compared to just 3 for the Dolphins, as the Dolphins press in the backcourt and force the turnover with the travel.
So the Dolphins defense continues to put a lot of pressure on this Eagles team that right now looks a little overmatched here in this first half.
You know, the Eagles only allowed opponents to shoot 39% against them coming into the game here this afternoon. Dolphins shooting a little bit better, 10 of 21. As the Dolphins have a 13-point lead. Dolphins playing very well offensively, Mike. They're 3 of 4 from the three-point line. Bridgewater 0 for 4. The Dolphins out-rebounding Bridgewater 14-13 and have forced 6 turnovers, as we mentioned, compared to only 3 for the Dolphins. So Dolphins coming out playing well, Mike, playing strong defensively. They have a 13-point lead, and I'm not sure what is happening here. I thought it was Dolphin basketball.
And so did I.
It's going to be a technical foul.
Not sure on who, though.
Not either.
What do you say? Well, either way, it's Jesse Case who's going to hit the free throws on the technical foul for Bridgewater.
So a technical foul. The official was kind enough to tell us what happened, but I couldn't hear him.
We couldn't hear him too well, so.
And
it is a technical on the Dolphins. That much we do know.
They hit the free throw.
Unless it was a double.
No, it's not. It's not, Mike. It's a single foul technical, and I'm not sure why, but we will find out.
Yeah, we will.
And it'll be the Dolphins to inbound the basketball off of the traveling turnover as the Dolphins inbound the ball to Schettino.
Schettino will take the inbounds pass as he will try to pass it off. Really just had to bounce out of his hands over to Lennon, but it bounces away from the Dolphins and a turnover, but Eagles will turn it back over themselves as they get a little wild with the basketball, but they will keep possession here. Dolphins were last to touch it.
Yeah, that was a nice defensive play by Zach Cope, the freshman player for the Eagles.
Saylor inbounds it right over to Crowell. Crowell working against Schettino, but he will travel, and there is no doubt about that as the Dolphins will get the possession back with 7:13 to go here in this first half. Up by 12 by a count of 25-13. And will be Brocic to inbound over to Schettino. With the exception of Lennon, the Dolphins have most of their starters in right now on the court. Schettino going upstairs and tries to put it up on a layup, but will draw the foul instead. And just a lot of fouls. Another foul this time on the Eagles. This one's committed by Crowell, his second. I mean, they just can't seem to avoid making mistakes for Bridgewater today.
Yeah, and that time Schettino took the ball to the basket, Mike. It looked like he was looking to pass and put the shot up at the last minute and was able to draw the foul, but misses the first free throw. He's now 1 of 3 from the line here tonight.
And free throws, as we said, have been hit or miss with Schettino this year, hitting around 50%. 25-13, Dolphins with the lead. Schettino going with another free throw, and that will go in. 2 out of 4 now. Dolphins now have doubled up their lead now to 13. Saylor passes it off to Boggs. Boggs working inside, pushing up against Brocic, puts it up, bounces around on the floor, and that will be a foul called. Looks like it will be called on the Dolphins, and looks like it will go against Lennon, who took pretty much a brunt of that as he's trying to make sure that he is okay as he gets up off the floor. His second foul.
Yeah, and that was a missed opportunity that time for the Dolphins, Mike. They had an opportunity to grab the rebound. They were unable to do so. Instead, Lennon's going to pick up his second foul, and that's going to lead to free throws now as Cope will go to the line to shoot a 1-and-1.
Cope with the free throw, and that will hit. And he'll hit another one right now. He has numbers on Cope so far this year as far as the free throws are concerned. He hasn't had many opportunities. He was 3 out of 4 coming into play today from the free throw line. Misses the second one. So when 1 out of 2, Schettino gets the bounce. And we'll bring it down court here for the Dolphins. Passes it off to nobody. He was looking for Baum, but Baum was just too far away. Miscommunication by the Dolphins. And a turnover back the other way to the Eagles.
Yeah, and that'll be the 4th turnover of the game for the Dolphins. The first for Schettino, as the Eagles will inbound the basketball, trailing by 12.
Inbound by Dennis, going over to Baumgartner. Baumgartner working out to Case. Case back out to Saylor. Saylor working inside, gliding through, puts it up and in. And 2 more points for Bridgewater. 6 points now here for Saylor, as he is tied for the team lead in points with Boggs with 6. Dolphins right now with the basketball, approaching 6 minutes to go here in this first half. Schettino working top of the key here against Case. Gets a little help from Baum. Works inside, kicks it back outside to Rossiter. Rossiter takes the 3-point shot, no good. And a rebound here for the Eagles. 5:51 to go, and it'll be Saylor back out to Case. Case working inside, kicks it out to Baumgartner. Baumgartner with a 3-point shot, no good. And a rebound. Nice job there by Boggs as he got over there. Going across court for the rebound, then puts it up and in for 2. And Bridgewater getting on a bit of a roll here, Mike. They are on a 5-0 run.
Yeah, Dolphins getting a little cold offensively. Need a good set here.
Schettino puts it up with the one-handed layup. No good. Rebound here by the Eagles. Boggs, transition back the other way, takes the jump shot, no good. Rebound by Schettino and the Dolphins. Schettino very upset as a foul is called, or timeout is called, I should say.
Yeah,
Schettino just wanted to keep on going. But we'll take the timeout. Full timeout. We'll be back right after this.
There are 16 million children struggling with hunger in America. That's 1 in 5 daughters, sons, neighbors, and classmates who don't know where their next meal is coming from. Yet billions of pounds of good food go to waste every year. It's time we do something about it. Feeding America is a nationwide network of food banks that helps provide meals to millions of kids and families in need. Visit feedingamerica.org to help them feed even more. Together, we can solve hunger. Together, we're feeding America.
And we are back here, folks, at the CSI Sports and Recreation Center here on the home of everything CSI Dolphins, CSI Sportsnet. Michael Cohen and Mike Mybusky here with you. The Dolphins out in front by a score of 26-18, but a nice little run here for Bridgewater as they've now scored the last 5 points to cut this Dolphins lead down to just 8. Mike, your thoughts?
Yeah, Mike, you mentioned Bridgewater in the middle of a 5-0 run. The Dolphins haven't been able to score for the last minute and a half. And, Bridgewater has done a nice job playing defense all night long. And, it was a couple of big 3-pointers by DeCunto that gave the Dolphins their biggest lead of the game. But Dolphins need to settle down and get some good looks offensively here.
Schettino over to Bracic. Bracic back out to Christian. Taylor Christian going back outside to Schettino. Dolphins working outside, now trying to get back inside. But a travel called on Taylor Christian, and it goes back the other way. And Bridgewater, a team that looked flat for most of this first half, starting to feel a little life right now as we approach the later part of this first half, just under 5 minutes at 4:59.
Yeah, so the Dolphins now commit their 5th turnover of the game, and Bridgewater with the basketball.
Baumgartner took the inbounds pass, goes back out to Boggs. Boggs over to Saylor. Those two guys have done the damage so far for Bridgewater with 14 points combined. But a travel called on Boggs as he went up towards the net, and the Dolphins will get the ball back.
So Boggs will pick up his 2nd turnover, the 8th turnover of the Eagles, and now it'll be the Dolphins looking to capitalize off of the turnover.
Dolphins +3 in the turnover ratio so far tonight. They've only turned it over 5 times as CSI. Schettino working right now up against Crowell. Crowell tried to get his hand in there for a steal. Not going to happen. They pass it up to Christensen. Back to Bracic for 3. No good. And a rebound here for the Eagles and for Keontae Dennis.
Yeah, that was the best look for the Dolphins in a while, but Bracic missed the open 3.
Crowell, but a stoppage called away from the basketball.
Yeah, that time it looked like, Mike, it was Jesse Case that smashed his finger. He might have actually popped his finger out of the socket as
that
he
would
comes
hurt.
right off the bench, right over to the bench, and we'll have a substitution here for the Eagles.
That's never a good thing. Crowell working up against Murphy, but again, a stoppage called again. And we saw this even in the first game of this doubleheader here tonight, Mike, where a lot of fouls were called around the hoop at the later end of the first half. We're starting to see that again here as well.
Yeah, that time Schettino picks up the foul, Mike. That'll be his first. The Dolphins with 8, so that'll send Dennis to the line to shoot a 1-and-1 for the Eagles.
Keontae Dennis to shoot 3 throws. He is 5 out of 6 on 3 throw attempts so far this year at 83%. And he'll hit the first. It's now 26-19, and that's one thing that Bridgewater does have an advantage of coming into this game. When you took a look at the head-to-head matchup, that they are a very good 3-throw shooting team at 71% on the year, as compared to the Dolphins, who hit only at 61%. Right now, he'll miss the back end of the one-on-one. 26-19 Dolphins in front. Bracic took the pass back down the court. Goes back over to Schettino, working up against Paul Brown. Goes inside, tries to go inside of Bracic, but stepping in the way was Greer.
And the Dolphins will keep the ball off the kickball, and the Dolphins a little fortunate on that play. That was a tough entry pass that time by Schettino, but the Dolphins will get to inbound.
Dolphins will inbound. Schettino going back out. Picked off, though, by Saylor. Saylor has numbers as he'll go coast to coast, puts it up and in, and all of a sudden, Mike, it's now a 5-point game as Bridgewater has just slowly but surely gotten their way back into this ball game. It's now 26-21 with 3:39 to go.
Yeah, Mike, it's one of those things, we mentioned earlier, the Dolphins now on the wrong side of an 8-0 run as Schettino feeds the ball inside to Baum, as the Dolphins really struggle to score offensively here.
Dolphins need points. 5 seconds on the shot clock. Gets away from Baum. He has to hurry up. Puts it up. Has to with 1 second on the shot. Misses it. And it was off the hands of Saylor. Keeps it alive, but stolen by Christensen. He goes upstairs. It's no good. Battle for the ball between Baum and Dennis. And it looks like a foul will be charged on Keontae Dennis.
Mike, the Dolphins have gone 3.5 minutes without scoring a basket from the field, and they've just had 1 point, and that was a Schettino free throw, as Taylor goes to the line to shoot 2, and he misses the first. So Dolphins' offensive struggles continue here in the latter stages of this first half.
Christian Taylor now for that free throw miss. Now 7 out of 14 from the charity stripe this year. Needs this one big time, and he'll get it. It's now a 6-point game, 27-21. But like you said, Mike, the Dolphins have not had a basket from the floor, whether it be a 2 or 3, in quite some time. They've just had 2 free throws. That is it. And right now they will inbound here with Essex Thompson. Yes, looks like a change will be made. Thompson will check out, so they'll bring in Kevin Saylor to inbound here for the Eagles with 3:11 to go here in this first half. Really a sluggish first half by both of these teams. Staten Island getting off to the fast start, and Bridgewater was really struggling shooting. Now tides have turned a little bit with Bridgewater shooting the basketball a little bit better, and CSI in a cold spell. A pass inside, this time to F.A. Balfour, and he puts it up and in, and will draw the foul and will have a chance for a 3-point play. It's now 27-23 game and a chance to make it 27-24.
Yeah, you know, again, the Dolphins allowing the entry pass a little bit too easy to get its way inside, and that time Balfour is able to lay it up and in, and an opportunity to make this a one-possession game if he can hit the free throw.
Foul was on Brocic, his first. And Balfour will complete the 3-point plays. He hits the free throw. 27-24, one-possession game now here at the Sports and Recreation Center here in the first half. Roster working inside, goes back up top to Baum. Baum, who's had a quiet first half so far, goes back top key now to Schettino. Schettino working his way inside, passes it inside to Baum, takes the awkward shot, no good. Baum very upset at himself. He won that one back.
Yeah, that was a nice look that time by Schettino. He got it inside to Baum. He couldn't hit the shot, but he will go to the free throw line for the Dolphins.
Dolphins have to find a way to get their offense moving here in the late stages of this first half. They have been in a real cold spell. Again, only a couple of free throws in the last 3 minutes of play here. That's it. And that will be their third free throw that they connect on. The first one by Baum here in this set. 28-24, Dolphins in front.
Yeah, Mike, it's actually been over 5 minutes since the last Dolphin basket from the field, and that was the DeCunto second three-pointer of the game.
In fact, those 2 free throws that have both been good here for Baum were his first points of the day. And here's a guy who has been one of the best shooters of this team so far this year. He's had a very quiet first half up until that point. Baumgartner bringing it out for the Eagles. Looking for a lane, can't get it, passes it back out to Case. Case going back up top to Greer. Greer working his way inside, and he goes over Baum, and he puts it in for 2. Approaching 2 minutes, Schettino bounces off Case, takes the shot, it's waved off. As they say the foul was occurred right there, that will be against Case. Case does not like it. Schettino will go to the line.
Boy, I'll tell you, Mike,
that was close.
If you're going to call the foul, and I'm not sure it was a foul, but if you're going to call the foul, I don't see how you could call it not being in the act of shooting. That was like being a little bit pregnant on the play, and Schettino will have to shoot 2.
You can make the argument that could have been an offensive foul, too, but he did have to bounce off the guy to establish himself for the shot. But regardless, it is a missed free throw.
Yeah, he's now, Schettino now 2 of 5 from the line and 2 of 6 from the field. Just 6 points on the day for the Dolphins.
And he will hit the back end. He is now 3 out of 6, so still around 50%. Consistent from that standpoint, but 3 out of 6 on the free throw line. Now 7 points for Schettino. 30-26, Dolphins in front with a minute and 58 seconds to go, as bobbling the ball initially, travel could have been called, but it was not, as Saylor was going inside. And they'll say that he'll maintain possession. Last to touch it was CSI, and to inbound here, looks like it will be Paul Brown. Brown looking for somebody. He does find someone. That's Case. 3-point shot, and he'll miss it. No foul called on the Dolphins. This nice rebound by Murphy. Kicks it out to Schettino. Schettino has numbers down court. Roster puts it up, backpedaling, and puts it in. And that's a big point for the Dolphins. And for the first time In about 6 minutes, Mike, the Dolphins have a basket.
Nice play by Rossiter, laying that one up in traffic and giving the Dolphins a 6-point lead once again.
And this time travel called, and that will be against Greer. It was a pass initially by Brown to Greer, but Greer walked, and as a result, the Dolphins will get the ball back with 1:25 to go before the half.
9th turnover for the Eagles gives the Dolphins an opportunity, up 6 inside of 80 seconds remaining.
Schettino brings it down court, passes midcourt, now makes his way to the top of the key, goes inside here to Murphy, back out to Schettino. Schettino will reset the offense. Shakes off Brocic, tells him to go back into the corner. That's where he is in three-point territory. Takes the shot. 3, yes! And a big 3 there for Eden Brocic. They set that up nicely, did the Dolphins. 8 points now for Eden Brocic tonight with 50 seconds to go.
Brocic 2 of 4 from the three-point line.
Right now will be Saylor, but another foul called, and this one against the Eagles. Dolphins will get possession back, and the foul will be on number 33, and that's Zach Coop away from the basketball.
And I thought that was a good foul call that time by the official. Mike Cope really kept moving on the screen and got called for the moving screen, and an opportunity, Mike, for the Dolphins to get the lead back over double digits.
35 seconds to go. Schettino working in transition, passes back off to Baum, but a traveling violation called on Baum. And the Eagles get the possession back.
So that's going to be the 7th turnover on the Dolphins, the first on Baum. So it'll be Eagles basketball, a 0.4 of a second differential on the shot clock and the game clock.
35-26, Dolphins up by 9. And remember at one point this was a one-possession game not that long ago when Bridgewater came all the way back, cut it to a 3-point game, but the Dolphins have done a nice job in response. Big three-pointer by Eden Brocic not that long ago gave this Dolphins team this 8-point lead. Spinning around, putting up his Baumgartner as he'll have it spin in and out. Nice rebound there by Murphy. Dolphins get the ball back. Closing seconds here. Schettino loses the handle of it as the seconds tip off the clock. And the Dolphins saying that it went out of bounds with time left on the clock, but they won't get that call as the first half comes to an end. And the Dolphins with a 35-26 lead as we go into the half. Really a sloppy first half, Mike, by both teams. Your thoughts?
Well, you know, Mike, if you're a CSI Dolphin fan, you really got to like the way that first half ended for the Dolphins. Dolphins led in this game by as many as 13, taking a 25-12 lead on the second DeCunto three-pointer. Mike, 0.3 of a second left here in the first half.
So they do put some time on the clock, 0.3 of a second, really a catch and shoot scenario. And that's off the hands of Baum on the pass by Schettino, and that will end the first half now, 35-26. So the Dolphins find a way to expand their lead to 9 points. They go into the half with that lead. Their defense played very solid in that first half against Bridgewater. We'll see how Tony Petosa's team will come out in the second half if they can be a little more consistent, I think, offensively, especially in trying to expand upon this lead and try to put away this Bridgewater team.
Yeah, you know, Mike, as we mentioned, the Dolphins led by as many as 13, 26-13 with 6:58 remaining. Vinny DeCunto hit a three-pointer to give the Dolphins a lead with 7:36 remaining. The Dolphins then went over 5 minutes before they were able to score a basket, but finishing with a big 6-0 run to finish the first half with a 9-point lead, Mike.
So we will take a break, folks, as we hit the half. The Dolphins on top by a score of 35-26. You're listening to your home for everything CSI Dolphins, CSI Athletics, CSIDolphins.com, and CSI Sportsnet.
Wow, these are really good.
You act surprised. Practice makes perfect.
You don't have to be perfect to be a perfect parent. There are thousands of teens in foster care who don't need perfection. They need you.
You know what, guys? There's a lot of tree branches and dry brush over here. We should probably put the bonfire over there.
Guessing Smokey liked that idea.
Mom.
Visit aarp.org/caregiving for information on how to provide even better care for the person who wants to care of you.
Don't worry, 74 people were picked before me in the NFL draft.
To fight childhood obesity, United Way and the NFL are helping kids play at least 60 minutes a day.
Okay, time for the team obstacle course. Yay!
What this place needs is more healthy kids. To get involved or donate, go to unitedway.org/play60.
Now I get it.
When I was 6, my days were spent playing basketball. When I was 6, my dream was to make it to the NBA. When I was 6, my mom had a stroke.
I'm Paul George, and I want you to spot a stroke fast.
F, face drooping. A, arm weakness. S, speech difficulty. T, time to call 911.
Protect the ones you love.
Spot a stroke fast.
Most party fouls are pretty dumb. But if you decide to drink and drive underage, you could lose your license and your freedom. Underage drinking and driving. The ultimate party foul.
This is the story of a boy who was very sensitive to lights and sounds. So he built secret hiding places where nothing could get in. The boy didn't like looking people in the eye. It made him feel uncomfortable. One day, he found out he had something called autism. His family got him help. And slowly, he learned how to live with it better.
Early intervention can make a lifetime of difference. Learn the signs at autismspeaks.org.
They said I have troll teeth.
That my voice sounded like a possessed baby doll.
That no one would ever love someone as stupid as me.
That I was fat, ugly.
Disgusting.
The effect of bullying is potent. We will no longer be the silent majority.
Now, when you see online bullying, there's something you can do about it.
We're gonna take action with the I.
I am a witness.
I am a witness.
I am a witness.
I am a witness.
I am a witness, and so are you.
They'll test you. Try to break your will. But however loud the loudness gets, however many cheese puffs may fly, you're the driver, the one in control. Stand firm. Just wait. And move only when you hear the click that says they're buckled in for the drive. Never give up till they buckle up.
Don't wait. Communicate. Make your emergency plan today.
Look at you. You're at the top of your game. You're unstoppable. Nothing can throw you off track. Wait, is that your car? Uh-oh. Yeah, I saw that coming. That will throw you off track. You're looking at around 10 grand in fines, legal fees, and increased insurance rates. Let's try this again. Smart move. Because buzz driving is drunk driving.
I'm a teacher. Let me tell you what I make. I make learning a privilege, not a chore, and frustration a tool, not an obstacle. I make working hard seem easy and giving up impossible. I make an old subject feel like a fresh thought and unconventional methods common. I'm a teacher. I make more.
You make me wear my bike helmet. Taught me never to run with scissors. And to follow the swimming rules.
You tell me to stay away from drugs.
To always buckle my seatbelt.
So why do you keep a loaded gun in your drawer?
How safe is that?
You asked them to follow some safety rules. Now they're asking you. In fact, they're counting on you. Never let your gun get into the wrong hands. Remember, always lock it up. Visit ncpc.org.
Na 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 na, I love you so. I love you, I love you. La 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 la, la 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 la.
We're here.
It's a short drive from your neighborhood to your naturehood. To find a neighborhood park or green space near you, visit discovertheforest.org.
A full life measured in seats starts with the right ones early on. Car crashes are a leading killer of children 1 to 13. Learn how to prevent deaths and injuries by using the right car seat for your child's age and size.
And we are back, folks. Welcome to the CSI Sports and Recreation Center here on the college campus of Staten Island, as the Dolphins holding on to a 35-26 lead here on CSI Sportsnet, your home for everything CSI Dolphins. Michael Cohen, Mike Babusky here with you, bringing you all the action of that first half. And now the halftime, as we take a look back at that first half, Mike, the Dolphins with a 9-point lead. Really kind of a spotty first half by both teams, but the Dolphins played good defense. They forced some awkward shots by Bridgewater, and they were able to keep Bridgewater at 35% shooting in that first half and forced 10 turnovers. That's what stands out right now for the first half for the Dolphins.
Yeah, and you know, Mike, and the Dolphins find themselves in a familiar position leading at halftime, and they've done that several times here during the 2016 season and have, you know, come out and struggled a little bit in their scoring in the second half. So the Dolphins are going to come out, look to build on that 9-point lead, Mike, but more importantly, look to get a little bit more consistent on the offensive end, because if you really take a look at the way that first half ended for the Dolphins, Mike, they really struggled with their shooting from about the 7:36 mark remaining. They just scored 10 points for the remainder of that half and went on a drought of over 5 minutes without being able to score a basket. So if you're the Dolphins, you want to be able to come out and try to get some good shots offensively and try to build on this 9-point lead. And, you know, the Dolphins have come out. They played very well here in the first half, especially on the defensive end. And, you know, I think, Mike, if they could get a little bit more offensive production out of Frankie Schettino here in the second half, they should be in pretty good shape.
Yeah, Frank Schettino with an uneven first half. He was 2 out of 6 shooting from the floor, 3 out of 6 from the free-throw line at 7 points. Eden Brocic probably has had the best day offensively. He is 3 out of 6 overall. He's hit 2 big three-pointers, including one near at the end of the first half. That gave the Dolphins a 9-point lead, and maybe they can use that three-pointer by Brocic as a momentum swing going into the second half. We shall find out. But as we get you ready for this second half, a couple stats that stand out. Really, both teams very even in rebounds. 19 for Bridgewater, 20 for CSI. Dolphins 7 out of 11 on the free-throw line. Bridgewater 6 out of 11. But what stands out, CSI is 4 out of 7 from long distance. Bridgewater 0 for 6, and again have only shot 35% from the floor overall. Not to mention, Bridgewater has gotten himself into a lot of foul trouble. 12 personal fouls, including 4 guys who have 2 fouls each. That's Keontae Dennis, Bryce Boggs, which is big right now for Bridgewater. Romello Crowell and Zach Cope all have 2 fouls apiece. The only guys in foul trouble for the Dolphins are all freshmen, and that's Lennon, Spencer, and Taylor. So not too shabby for the Dolphins from the foul standpoint.
Yeah, Mike, and you look at the halftime statistics, they're pretty even for both teams, and the Dolphins coming out with a 9-point lead, despite their struggles offensively, especially late in the first half, puts them in a pretty good position here in the second half. You mentioned, Mike, that there are 7 players with 2 personal fouls, 4 on the Eagles, 3 on the Dolphins, and, a quick personal foul or 2 on the wrong player or right player, depending on how you look at it, could be a big swing in the game. But, it's been an exciting first half here tonight. The first game of the tournament was a really exciting game, and we're looking for a big finish here tonight and 2 big games tomorrow afternoon.
And we'll see if the Dolphins can put the finishing touches on this, and if they do win this game, they will put themselves into the Tournament of Heroes championship game tomorrow night against Middlebury. And in case you're just joining us and you're wondering what happened in the earlier game, Middlebury and Illinois Wesleyan played a fantastic game as the Panthers of Middlebury came back and won that game. They were at one point down 12 in the first half, was Middlebury, had a lead of 13 in the second half. Illinois Wesleyan came back. At one point they were tied, and then Middlebury wins it with a 2-point shot with 1.6 seconds to go from Jack Daly as Middlebury wins 77-75 to get their 8th win of the year. They're 8-1. They are red hot, have won 5 in a row, and they're in the championship tomorrow.
Yeah, Mike, it was a game that Illinois Wesleyan scored the final 6 points in the last 2 minutes to come back from a 6-point deficit to tie the game, but Jack Daly didn't let that affect him. He calmly pulled up. He gave himself some space. He had an open jumper, and he buried it with just 1.6 seconds remaining, and Illinois Wesleyan was never able to get a final shot at the basket, and Middlebury went on to victory. And, we could see both teams over in the bleachers lounging around, eating pizza, watching this second game here tonight. Middlebury knows they will face the winner of this game, Illinois Wesleyan, who came into this opening round game as a slight favorite against Middlebury, will have to resign themselves to play in the consolation game. And, I have a feeling that could be a long night for the team that faces them tomorrow night. But, for the Dolphins, they're looking to make it into the finals of the tournament and go for their second win, a CSI Dolphin team that's only won this tournament twice in its 14-year history. This is game number 15.
So let's do it up, folks. We're going to about to begin the second half. Eden Brachich right in front of us as he will inbound it to Frank Schettino, and we are ready to rock and roll here in this second half. Glad you could join us here on your home for everything CSI Dolphins, CSI Sportsnet, and CSIDolphins.com. Illy Brachich going over to Schettino now, top of the key as he works against Romello Crowell. And Schettino taking the awkward shot, and it bounces in, but a foul is called, and it will count. And the Dolphins now have an 11-point lead, and Schettino will go to the line to shoot the one, make it a 3-point play. Maybe the most awkward shot you could possibly think of, but he still gets it in.
Yeah, and Frankie, who's struggling a little bit offensively from the field in the last 2 games, gets off to a good start here in the second half. And, boy, if Frankie could ever get back on track offensively, Mike, this is just a totally different CSI Dolphin team.
Misses the free-throw shot, so it's still an 11-point game. Inbounded initially by Boggs as he passed it down court, but then back to Boggs on the relay pass by number 21, Paul Brown. This time it goes over to Dennis, gets the block, gives the block for Boggs. Boggs goes back out to the top of the key, this time to Kevin Saylor. 3-point shot, very awkward shot there by Paul Brown. No good, Dolphin rebound. Schettino working inside, tries to pass it inside to Baum. Did not see Paul Brown was standing in front of him. Picks it off, passes it off down court to Saylor, who finishes off the 2-on-1 finish. It's now a 37-28 lead for the Dolphins. 10 points now for Saylor.
Yeah, it's that turnover cost the Dolphins a fast break bucket, 9-point game.
Schettino hands it off to Bracic. Working across the top of the key. This time goes inside to Murphy. Murphy has it deflected back in the hands of Baum, but a foul charged first. And we'll see if Baum goes to the free-throw line. I imagine he would.
Yeah, you know, that time Murphy tried to break the ball through a double team. He missed the shot, but Baum did a nice job grabbing the weak side rebound. He tried to lay it up and in. He missed, but he did draw the foul, and that's going to be the third foul on Keoti Dennis.
37-28. As that is good for Baum. It's now a 10-point game here for the Dolphins. 3 points now here for Baum. All three of his points have been from the free-throw line, which is usually unusual for a guy who we have seen this year shoot pretty well for the Dolphins from the floor, but he has had a quiet day from the floor today. 0 for 2 overall from the floor. Hits the second of a pair. As it's now 11-point lead for the Dolphins again, 39-28 now. Saylor, who has had a big day, passes it off inside the Boggs, goes inside now to Balfour, kicks it back outside the Boggs. Boggs working against Bracic, goes back to Saylor. Saylor thought about three, instead tries to pass it off, has it deflected initially by Baum. Nice job there by Greer to get over to save it. Boggs to a 3 on the shot clock. Long three-point shot, no good, and Baum picks up the rebound. Dolphins now with transition here with Schettino. Goes inside Baum, but a foul is called first on the Dolphins. Offensive foul. And turnover going back towards Bridgewater.
Man, that's going to be a foul on Khalid Baum. That's going to be his first. He didn't love the call, but he will pick up the offensive foul. The Dolphins will pick up the turnover. That's going to be their second turnover of the second half, and the Eagles will inbound the basketball.
Eagles to inbound with Devrion Greer. As he loses possession, does Baumgartner, as it's picked up by Schettino, going coast to coast, puts it up, but a foul called. Looks like it's going to be called on Baumgartner.
Yeah, that time the freshman, Mike, just lost possession of the basketball, bringing it up the floor. Schettino was able to pick the ball up and drive down the lane, and Baumgartner picked up the foul, so he gets the turnover and the foul on that possession, and now Schettino will go to the line to shoot two. He's just 3 of 7 from the line this afternoon.
He's been trying to figure out those three throws all year, and it's been a bit of a mission impossible at times for him so far this year, and he misses the first of 2, and just shakes his head in frustration. Right now, 3 out of 8 from the free-throw line here tonight.
Yeah, Dolphins just 9 of 15 from the line, Mike. That's 60%.
And that is good. So he'll hit the back end. 40-28 Dolphins in front.
Schettino now with 10 points, leading the Dolphins in scoring.
Jesse Case passes it off to Boggs. Boggs working his way inside, kicks it back out to Case. Really, it's turning into a pitch and catch between Boggs and Case, but this time the travel is called, and it's called on Boggs. And a turnover for turnover towards the Dolphins as they'll get possession, and Bracic will inbound underneath the net.
Both teams with 2 turnovers here in the second half. The Dolphins with the basketball now, Mike, and a 12-point lead.
Dolphins going from right to left, down court as Schettino brings it down court, working against Saylor. As he'll pass it off to Baum. Baum going over to Bracic. Bracic with the jump shot, no good. Rebound here for the Eagles. And the rebound collected here by Greer. Greer going over to Boggs. Back to Greer. Greer working inside against Baum. Gets rejected. Ball goes out of bounds, but Eagles will keep possession. Dolphins were last to touch it with Khalid Baum.
Yeah, so here in the second half, Mike, Bridgewater 1 of 4 from the field. The Dolphins 1 of 3. Bridgewater 0 of 8, Mike, from the three-point line here tonight.
Jesse Case passes it, inbounds it. Over to Saylor, back over to Boggs. Saylor to Case again. Case near us. No travel call there as they'll go back across the court. Back top key. Case, three-point shot. He nails it. And after such a long time without a three-pointer, they were 0 for 8 on three-pointers until that one. Now 1 for 9 on the three-pointer by Case. It's now 40-31. Ball skipping around. Schettino picks up the loose ball. Going back down court, one-on-one. Puts it up, no good. Rebound here for the Eagles. Fast transition here for the Eagles as they will kick another three-point shot out to Case off the top of the rim, no good. Now Boggs with his shot. It rims in and out. And that wasn't even close as it hit the rim. It's going to be still a 9-point lead for the Dolphins. Approaching 16 minutes to go here in this second half. And a foul called as charging inside was Schettino. Yes, he went down hard onto the court. And he'll check out. Checking now in is DeCunto for the Dolphins.
Yeah, and Schettino goes to the bench, Mike. Both teams struggling shooting here in the second half. The Dolphins 1 of 4. The Eagles 2 of 7. DeCunto came in, played very well in the first half. 6 points in 6 minutes.
DeCunto will inbound. As he's looking initially to Baum, now goes down court to Bracic. He was really the only guy open all the way down court. Bracic will bring it back up court now here to DeCunto, who will take it. Right to Roster. Roster working up against a 2-on-1 scenario. Puts it up, no good. Rebound battle for the ball. Baum picks it up, tries to put it in. That's going to skip in and out. And that will go possession back towards the Dolphins. Actually, possession towards the Eagles, excuse me.
I think that's going to be a goaltending violation, Mike, and Baum will get credit for the basket,
Okay.
and the Dolphins lead by 11.
So the goaltending is called against the Eagles, so Baum gets the basket. He now has 6. Jesse Case, the sophomore from Fairfax, Virginia, bringing it up court. Puts it up, and that will draw the foul. That will be on the Dolphins and Khalid Baum.
Yeah, I thought that was a tough foul that could call that time on Baum. I thought that time that Case kind of got himself in an off-balance position, but the official kind of bailed him out a little bit. So now Case will go to the free throw line to shoot 2. He's an 82% free throw shooter on the year.
Case hits the first. And if Bridgewater does make this a close game, the one thing that the Dolphins will have to be very cognizant of is that their free throw shooting is very, very good. So one thing you don't want to do is allow the free throw shooting of Bridgewater to bring him back into this ball game. 2 for 2 on the free throw line for Case. Now with 6 points on the day. And it's still a 9-point lead with the Dolphins in front, now 42-33. Bracic will inbound, goes over to DeCunto. DeCunto bringing it now down court. Again, Dolphins going from right to left. Hands it off, does DeCunto over to Bracic. Bracic working it against Saylor. Saylor guarding him as the pass goes off to Baum. Takes the open jump shot, no good. Picked up by Saylor on the rebound, goes to Boggs. Boggs quickly down court, goes back to Saylor, top of the key. Saylor working inside against Bracic. Puts it up, no good. Rebound by the Dolphins and DeCunto as a little battle for the ball ensued between Baum and Dennis. Roster with a shot, a kind of awkward shot, can't get it. Tried to get his own rebound, could not. Eagles now with possession. Boggs working inside against Roster, and Bracic has a block by Roster, picked up by Bracic, passes it off inside. Working inside was DeCunto. No good. DeCunto is down on the floor. He's in pain. Right now, 2-1 in favor of the Eagles. Putting it in was Saylor. And it's 2 points for the Eagles as DeCunto right now back up. He is okay. And we'll stay in with 14:30 to go as timeout is called here by the Dolphins. And it's a full timeout, so we'll take a break right here on your home for everything CSI Athletics, CSIDolphins.com, CSI Sportsnet. We're back right after this.
One-on-One is an independently owned and operated physical therapy center since 1999.
One-on-One has multiple offices located in Staten Island and in Brooklyn.
One-on-One has been getting people back to living pain-free for almost 14 years.
The #1 goal of One-on-One is to provide quality health care for our community and continue to strive to be the best in our field.
One-on-one physical therapy gets our clients back to work, back to play, and back to function as soon as possible. We help them reclaim their life.
And we are back, folks, here for your home for everything CSI Athletics, CSI Sportsnet, CSIDolphins.com. Michael Cohen, Mike Nabusky with you for all the action here tonight between the Dolphins and the Eagles, the back end of this first leg of this Tournament of Heroes. And it's been an interesting one here for the second game between the Dolphins and the Eagles. Dolphins on top by 7, 14:31 to go here in the second half, as the Dolphins will inbound here with Eden Bracic. Both teams struggling, though, offensively here in the second half. Mike, 2 of 9 for the Dolphins, 3 of 9 for Bridgewater.
Yeah, and this has been a struggle for the Dolphins throughout this 2016, Michael, struggling to score, especially in the second half. Big couple of possessions coming up here for the Dolphins.
Bracic working top of the key, gets a nice block from Baum to release him. Passes it off to Schettino, takes the open jump shot from inside the arc. That's going to roll around and spin in.
And maybe that could be the shot, Mike, that gets Schettino back in a groove as the Dolphins open their lead back up to 9. Schettino now has 12.
44-35, Dolphins in front, just under 14 minutes to go. Passing it off was Crowell as he passed it off to Thompson. It went over eventually to Greer. Greer back over to Crowell inside, now back over across three-point territory for Essex Thompson, and that's a good three-pointer. That's now 2 3-pointers that Bridgewater is connected on here tonight. And Jade Spencer puts it up, no good. Rebound here by Dennis. And now the Dolphins going a little cold here as Bridgewater trying to make something happen here offensively and trying to get a little closer. They're down only 6, 44-38. Boggs. Top of the arc, gives the shot, really an awkward shot. I don't know if he got hit or not. No call. Just maybe just a bad shot overall. Schettino takes the errant pass. And right now, Dolphins with the ball right now with 13 minutes to go. DeCunto back over to Schettino. Schettino working inside. And right now, Baum working his way inside and gets hit hard as trying to defend the glass was Greer.
Yeah, nice move by Baum. He faked the jumper and drove the ball inside and was able to draw the foul. The Dolphins just 10 of 16 from the line here tonight. Baum will go to the free throw line. He's one of the better free throw shooters for the Dolphins, and he's 4 for 4 tonight.
And that's a second foul on Thompson, the freshman. So the fouls continue to stack up as that will bounce in for the Dolphins. It's now 7 points for Baum, but the fouls continue to stack up here for the Eagles, and they continue to put themselves in foul trouble. We see they already have 2 guys still on the floor with 3 fouls each. And that being Crowell as well as Dennis. Both of them had 3. Right now, looks like Crowell is going to check out. 45-38, and Baum right now trying to get the back end of the free throws, and he does. Now with 8 points on the day for Khalid Baum. Dolphins now up by 8, 46-38. Working his way inside, putting up the points and getting the foul is Phil Baumgartner, the freshman from Chesapeake, Virginia. Gets the deuce and now gets a chance for a 3-point play. Yeah, and that's big points right there.
It is, Mike, and Spencer's going to pick up the foul. That was a nice play by the freshman. He hesitated just a little bit. Space opened up in the lane. He took advantage of it, hit the layup, and now hits the free throw to complete the 3-point play.
And Baumgartner hits the free throw, now makes it a 3-point play. He checks out now. 46-41 in favor of the Dolphins, now a 5-point lead. And take a look at the stats right now. Don't look now, folks, but Bridgewater's hit 2 3-pointers. They've hit their 3 throws. They're 3 for 3 at the charity stripe, and they're 5 of 12 in this second half. While the Dolphins' offense continues to struggle. 46-41 now, Dolphins in front. Schettino work up against Crowell. Goes across to Bracic, 3-point shot, bounces up, no good, hit the rim. And the Eagles will get the ball. We'll start off with Crowell as he'll start things up here offensively for the Eagles.
The Dolphins with just 3 baskets, Mike, in nearly 8 minutes of play here in the second half. It's been something that's haunted them all year long in the second half as their shooting struggles continue.
And Case working his way inside and drew the foul on the Dolphins. That's the first foul on DeCunto, who's going to check out. And an inbound pass upcoming here for Romello Crowell. Yes. Has to hurry up, gets it out to Case. Thought about three, is going to shoot the three anyway. It bounces in between the rim and the glass, no good. Schettino takes the inbound, takes the rebound, and hits the three. It's a long distance shot to be a long two, not a three, as he had his foot on the line. So 16 points for Schettino. He's now hit his last two baskets here, Mike.
Yeah, and you know, Mike, this is something the Dolphins are really going to need. They're struggling offensively, and they need Schettino to score. Like you mentioned, he's hit his last two baskets. He has 16, and the Dolphin lead is 7 once again.
Inbound here, Phil Baumgartner going over to Romello Crowell. As Crowell goes off to Boggs. Boggs going back inside to Case. As Crowell right now, top of key, resets the offense. Going back over to Saylor, I should say. Saylor takes the jump shot, awkward jump shot, but he still gets it in. And really, Kevin Saylor, who is a guard and a freshman sophomore for this team, really has had an outstanding day for Bridgewater, 14 points.
Yeah, 14 points, Mike, on 7 of 9 shooting, so he's playing very well here for the Eagles.
11:07 to go. Schettino working his way inside against Taylor, puts it up and in, and he is now connected, has Schettino in his last 3 shots. That roll-in shot got him started. It's now 50-43 Dolphins. And that's going to be kicked away nicely. Looked like it was Stephen Flagg who punched that one away from the net.
And I think we're having a whistle because I think the officials are wondering whether the shot clock should have been reset or not. I thought that might have hit the bottom of the rim, Mike. I thought that shot clock reset was appropriate, and the officials do agree, as now the Eagles will inbound the basketball, 27 on the shot clock.
And inbounding right now will be Bryce Boggs. Paul Brown now checks in, wearing number 21. Baumgartner will take the inbounds pass from Boggs. Passes it off inside to Balfour, tries to put it up, going up against 2 Dolphins, and can't get it through, but a foul is called. And that is a foul on the Dolphins, and it is a foul on Stephen Flagg.
Yeah, I thought that was a little bit of a late whistle, but Flagg draws the foul, and that will lead to free throws now for the Eagles.
So, Balfour, who so far today is 2 out of 3 from the free-throw line, will miss this first. He's now 2 out of 4. Balfour with only 4 points so far today.
Each team with 5 team fouls here, Mike, with 10 minutes and 41 seconds remaining here in the second half.
50-43 in favor of the Dolphins. Second of a pair, and it's going to be no good. So Balfour missing on both free throw attempts. That is a big, big couple of misses there for the Eagles of Bridgewater.
It sure is, Mike, as the Eagles are now 9 of 16 from the free throw line.
Flagg working inside, puts it up and in as he took the pass from Bracic. Dolphins back up by 9 once again, 52-43. And they've been in this 9-point lead for much of this second half. Both teams have scored 17 points in the second half so far. Paul Brown passes it off this time, top of the key to Boggs. Boggs working inside, has it deflected. He's working up against Bracic. Schettino looking behind and a backwards pass to Baum for the dish. Nicely done.
Huge play that time. A beautiful assist by Schettino. He's picking up his play here in the second half. Dolphins up by 11 once again.
10 points now for Baum. Brown going over to Boggs. Boggs takes the shot, and that will be dribbling in and out, bounced around by the Dolphins, as it will be Balfour for the Eagles who comes up with it, passes it off. Baumgartner trying to work out of trouble. They kick it out this time to three-point shooting. That's Saylor. He misses it. Rebound here by Schettino for the Dolphins. 9:20 to go here in the second half. Passes it inside to Baum, and 2 more points for the Dolphins. Can you feel it?
Yeah, Mike, you really can. First, Schettino got that big roll off of the shot. Then he hit another shot. Now 2 beautiful assists for Schettino. And all of a sudden, the Dolphins have been able to open that lead back up to 13 as, Schettino's play is picked up. The Dolphins in the middle of an 8-0 run, and Baum trying to make it a 9-0 run.
And Baum right now with 12 points going for 13. He has been tremendous from the free throw line, I should say. And that foul was charged to Paul Brown, who is again checked out.
And it's been over 2 minutes since the last Eagle basket, and the Dolphins have been able to take advantage of that. And a chance to open the lead up to 14.
And it is good, 57-43. It's now a 14-point lead for the Dolphins, their largest lead of this game. 13 points now for Baum. As Boggs right now trying to work out of trouble against Stephen Flagg, but ends up losing the basketball, goes underneath the hands of Baumgartner. He may have touched it, and he did. Dolphins will get the ball back. It'll be Robert Rossiter to inbound it for the Dolphins.
So the Eagles commit their 5th turnover here in the second half, their 15th of the game. Dolphins with a 14-point lead with 9:09 remaining, Mike, and they've been playing their best basketball of the night over the last few minutes.
And it all started with that kind of like a whirling dervish in a lot of ways, the basketball going into the net on that shot by Schettino, and ever since that point they have been on fire a little bit offensively.
And now the Dolphins are going to pick up a offensive foul and a turnover here, not what the Dolphins were looking for on that possession. So it will be Eagle basketball trailing by 14, 8:53 remaining in the game. And, Mike, you like the way the Dolphins have been playing consistently here in the second half. You'd like to see them keep it up here over the next 8 minutes.
14-point lead for the Dolphins. As Jesse Case working his way inside, trying to get by Baum, and he will not, as the foul will be called on Baum. As he was actually no foul called, just a turnover on the Dolphins, as he was the last to touch it. My mistake. So Case will inbound here for the Eagles. And he just can't find anybody. Finally finds the open man, and that was Saylor, but he misses the 3-point shot. Rebound here by Greer, working up against 2 big Dolphins in Murphy and Baum. And he will draw the foul this time on Murphy, who does not like the call at all.
Yeah, Murphy didn't like the call, Mike, but that time the Dolphins allowed a second chance opportunity for the Eagles, and they were able to draw the foul. That foul will be on Murphy. That will be his second, the team's 6th, and that will send Gear to the line to shoot 2.
Davrion Greer with a free throw shot and misses the first. Greer so far today, take a look at his numbers. 1 out of 2 from the charity stripe, 1 out of 3 overall. Now 1 out of 3 from the charity stripe, only 3 points. Only one player in double figures today for the Eagles, and that is Saylor, who has had 14.
And Bridgewater not doing a good job from the line. They're 9 of 17. Make that now 10 of 18.
They do connect on that one, so it's 57-44. Baum with the inbounds pass to Schettino. Schettino going it down court here for the Dolphins. As he gets a nice block from Baum, passes it inside, try to go to Kevion Murphy. But unfortunately for the Dolphins, it's tipped away by Crowell.
Yeah, Dolphins very fortunate that time, Mike. It looked like it would be a turnover. Instead, the Dolphins get to inbound, 15 on the shot clock.
8:16 to go. Inbounds pass right to Baum with the nice shot, and he puts it in for 2. And you want to see the Dolphins work inside a lot more to Baum. They haven't done that much of working inside of him or Murphy much at all here tonight, but their offense starting to get on a roll here in the last, I would say certainly the last 3 to 4 minutes.
Yeah, and that's going to be a foul on Kevion Murphy, and that was a tough call away from the ball. That's going to be his 3rd, so he picks up 2 quick ones, and that's going to send Bridgewater to the line, as they will now have free throws for the rest of the game. It'll be a 1-and-1 for Gear.
So Gear right now to shoot 3 throws, hits the first. On the 1-and-1, he'll stay for a second. And Gear right now 3 out of 5 from the free throw line. Dolphins up by 14 still. As he'll miss the second. Tipped around by Roster, picked up by Gear himself. And Shatino ends up getting the miss.
Yeah.
7:52 to go. Dolphins with the ball.
Dolphins fortunate as Gear can't hit the shot off of his missed free throw. Dolphins with the basketball on a 14-point lead.
Dolphins working it. Shatino tries to pass it off, but stoppage called here by the officials.
And that's going to be a foul, and that's going to send Shatino to the line to shoot a 1-and-1. And you know what, Mike? If you're the Eagles, that's not necessarily the worst thing in the world. It will put the pressure on Shatino to hit the 1-and-1. Frankie just 4 of 9 from the line here tonight.
It is the 4th foul, though, for Crowell. So you would imagine that he's going to have to check out now with 4 fouls. And still with 7:38 to go. Shatino does missed the free throw. You're right. He did put pressure. The pressure was put on. He missed the shot.
He didn't miss the shot, Mike. He hit the shot, but the Dolphins had some kind of lane violation, so they turned the ball over, and it will be Eagle basketball.
7:30 to go. Going back to Boggs. Boggs working inside as he is going to be called for. Being called for a foul on the Dolphins. I thought there was a chance that Boggs may have traveled on that play there, Mike.
Boy, I thought that was clearly an offensive foul. Instead, they're going to get to go to the line again. Boy, I thought some of these last couple of calls on the Dolphins, Mike, have been very tough calls. You know, that one, it looked pretty clear that Boggs cleared out the Dolphin defender. Instead, flag gets called for the foul, and an opportunity once again for Bridgewater that they failed to take advantage of.
59-45, Dolphins in front. Shatino brings it down court, passes it off to Stephen Flagg. Flagg working inside, puts it up, and he'll bounce in and out as he had a chance there for an open bucket. Did not happen. And working his way through the hole for the Bridgewater is Crowell. He'll put it up, but he can't get it in. Been a rough day of shooting here for the Eagles as the ball will go back the other way. Another foul call. This one on the Eagles. First one called on number 24, F.A. Balfour.
Yeah, you know, Mike, that was an interesting sequence. Flagg made a beautiful move to the basket, and I think he got caught in between deciding to jam and lay it in. Instead, he missed it, but he did a nice job hustling back, grabbing the defensive rebound, drawing the foul, going to the free throw line for a 1-and-1, and hitting the first.
Stephen Flagg hits the first 3 throws, now 60-45. And he'll hit both free throws. So 61-45 Dolphins in front. 6 points now for Stephen Flagg. As the sophomore from Brooklyn, New York, adding to his totals tonight as the inbounds pass here for the Eagles. This one goes over to Jesse Case.
And the Dolphins in the middle of a 13-2 run as that shot is going to be up no good. And once again, another whistle on the play. So, the foul's beginning to accumulate here on both teams, but the Dolphins with a big 16-point lead. And, the last basket for Bridgewater, Mike, was over almost 5 minutes ago by Saylor as that first free throw was up and good. And Bridgewater also, Mike, really hurting themselves from the free throw line here in the second half.
And they really have. You take a look at the numbers. They are 5 out of 11 from the free throw line, but also 6 out of 22 from the floor. They have not shot well at all, no matter where they are.
Yeah, and Mike, they're just 12 of 23 from the line here. The Dolphins 15 of 21, so Dolphins doing a much better job shooting from the free throw line. So with 6:51 remaining and the Dolphins up by 15, we'll step aside, take a break, and we'll be right back.
So who's going to do what?
I'll pack the dead batteries.
Great.
I'll only put what I don't need into a duffel bag.
Perfect. That's totally unhelpful.
No problem.
Meanwhile, I will try to comfort everyone by speaking in a calm voice. And who is going to handle supplies?
I can forget to do a list for us.
Thanks, pal.
We couldn't be any less prepared. I'm proud of you guys.
Talk to your kids about who to call, where to meet, what to pack. Search Ready Kids at nyc.gov or call 311.
And we are back, folks, right here at your home for everything CSI Dolphins at the CSI Sports and Recreation Center. Dolphins on top 61-46, 6:51 to go here in the second half. And the Dolphins really taking control, Mike, as we take a look at the stats so far. Dolphins 9 out of 12 shooting in the second half, 21 out of 47 overall, but they have shot 71% from the free-throw line, while Bridgewater has struggled from all points on the floor.
And yeah, Mike, and the Dolphins doing a real good job defensively, holding Bridgewater to 6 of 22 shooting. That's 27% here in the second half.
Brocic passing it off to Schettino. Back to Brocic as a foul called on a reach in by number 22, and that is Crowell.
Boy, my God.
Some of these are just
I don't
really
know
out there.
I don't know about that call at all. That had to be 35 feet from the basket, and Cromwell's now going to foul out of the game. But once again, from a strategic point of view, other than losing one of your players, putting Schettino on the line for a one-on-one is not the worst gamble that you had. Schettino did a nice job the last time hitting his free throw, but the Dolphins got called for some type of violation. But now the Dolphins going to the free throw line. Both teams fighting for the right to play in tomorrow's game against Middlebury. And, you know, the Dolphins would love to get back to the finals, Mike, and try to make it 2 Tournament of a Hero championships in a row.
Misses the free throw shot to Schettino. Baum with the rebound and picks it up for the Dolphins. And the Dolphins will have a new 30 on the shot clock. 6.5 to go in this game.
Great play by Baum. Poor play that time by the Eagles.
Rossiter right now in the corner, working his way out of the corner, works inside, puts it inside. Now to Baum, puts it up and in. And 2 points for the Khalid Baum, who has now 17 on the game. Dolphins now starting to pull away from Bridgewater, now on top 63-46.
And Mike Baum finished the first half with 2 points. That's right, 2 points. 15 second half points here for Khalid Baum.
And that bucket there for Essex Thompson. He now has only 5 points on the day, but we'll take a quick break. Back right after this. And we are back, folks, right here on your home for everything CSI Dolphins, CSI Athletics, and CSI Sportsnet. Folks, the Dolphins on top by a score of 63-48 with just a little over 6 minutes to go here in this second half. It's been a big day for the man standing next to us right now, Khalid Baum, as he has had 17 points, and he had a basket there on a heads-up play on a missed opportunity by the Eagles. The Eagles just not shooting well and getting a little complacent on the court as well. Dolphins taking advantage. Right now, CSI will inbound here, blocked initially on the pass by Brocic. And again, another foul called on the Eagles.
No, I think we're going to have a timeout called by Schettino, Mike, away from the ball.
So another timeout, this time for CSI, and we'll keep it here, Mike. And again, we've seen Bridgewater really struggle in shooting in this game. They have been somewhat complacent now as well in the last few minutes, as CSI is on their way to starting to pull away, and maybe with a little under 6 minutes to go now, on their way to a championship against Middlebury. I don't want to speak too fast, though.
Yeah, you know, Mike, it was a game that Bridgewater did a nice job, and, you know, they were able to cut into the Dolphin lead in the beginning of the second half. They were able to get the lead down The Dolphin lead down to as low as 5 at 46-41, but the Eagles have only scored 7 points since that time. The Dolphin defense has really turned things up, and even more importantly, Schettino hit a couple of shots and had 3 beautiful assists in a row to Khalid Baum, and Baum's 15 second-half points have propelled this Dolphins to a big 15-point lead, and it's starting to get late for the Eagles.
Frank Schettino working inside, goes across court to Rossiter. Rossiter working inside, puts it up, no good. And rebound here. No, rebound for the Dolphins. Initially looked like it was going to be for the Eagles, but Baum staying with it, picks up the ball in the air. Passes it off to Schettino for the miss, but he'll go to the line.
Yeah, so Schettino's able to draw the foul, and, Mike, that time the shot clock actually got reset. The ball never hit the rim, so the Dolphins were fortunate on that the shot clock got reset. Schettino drew the foul anyway, and he will go to the line this time to shoot 2, and he misses the first.
And the struggles continue for Frank Schettino from the free-throw line, now 4 out of 10. And he's trying to figure it out, trying to hit this one. Back end of the 1-and-1, he can't hit that one either, as it hit the rim. 4 out of 11 from the free-throw line, still 63-48 Dolphins in front. Paul Brown working inside, puts up the shot, and it's in.
Yeah, that's a big basket there for the Eagles, cutting the Dolphin lead down to 13, and there's still plenty of time remaining, Mike. Dolphins can't afford to get complacent. They got to keep getting good shots offensively and take advantage of their opportunities.
Working inside is Kevion Murphy as he took the pass from Rossiter. He gets the points, big points there for the Dolphins. Pushes it back to a 15-point lead for CSI.
5 points for Murphy.
Saylor working against Baum. Saylor now working inside now. Loses possession of the basketball, and Rossiter picks it up and just hands it off to Schettino. Another big turnover for the Eagles in a big spot with just under 5 minutes to go in this game. And they cannot afford turnovers, and they turn it over again. Now Murphy working inside, working up against, looks like Paul Brown, puts it up, and it'll be no good. Crowell, not Crowell, rather. It's going to be Kenneth Turner, who now checks in for the first time. We've had a chance to say his name. He tries to put it up, no good for the freshman. Schettino brings it down court quickly. And now stops and tries to reset the offense.
And Mike, with a 15-point lead and 4:20 remaining, the Dolphins should be thinking about running shot clock on these possessions.
Absolutely right. They'll take the shot anyway. Murphy picks up the miss and puts it back in for 2. And the Dolphins continue to inflate this lead. Their largest lead now is 17.
4 consecutive points for Murphy. He now has 7.
4 minutes to go. And it will be Turner working inside, tries to pass it off, has it knocked away by Schettino. Here we go, 2-on-1, Dolphins put it up. Baum tries to put it in for the finish, but can't, draws the foul as he goes up. And we'll see who the foul is on. It might be on Saylor, but no, it will be on Paul Brown instead.
And Mike, with a 17-point lead and just 3 minutes and 50 seconds remaining, the Dolphins edging themselves closer to that championship game tomorrow against the Middlebury. The consolation game will be at 5:30. Illinois Wesleyan will be sitting there waiting for the loser of the game here this afternoon. The winner will advance to the championship game. And for the Dolphins, they will be looking to win their second consecutive Tournament of Heroes championship and their third in the 15-year tournament history.
Khalid Baum, who only had 2 points in that first half and didn't have a shot go down in that first half, right now with a chance to take the team lead for points scored in this game with this 3-throw, and he will. Now 19 points on the game, a 19-point lead, by the way, for the Dolphins at 69-50. It will be Case to bring it down court. Working against Rossiter, pass it off to Paul Brown, who was working up against Schettino. Picked off by Rossiter, but he goes into the seats. But I believe he did keep it. Oh, no, he did not keep it alive. It will be a turnover going back towards the Eagles.
Nice defensive play by Rossiter. The Eagles will maintain the basketball with just 17 to shoot.
Boggs going over to Case. Case wants some help. He wants Thompson to come up and get a block on Rossiter. He gets that block, passes it back off to Boggs, but the whistle is blown first. And there'll be no shot.
Yeah, that's actually going to be a foul away from the ball on the Dolphins. I believe that's going to be against Spencer. That will be his fourth, and that will send the Eagles to the free throw line. And, you know, Mike, if you're the Dolphins, that's the last thing you want to do is let the Eagles get any points with the game clock not running.
Essex Thompson, his first free throw shot of the day is no good.
Boy, and the Eagles have really hurt themselves
50%.
in this second half. 8 of 25 from the field, 6 of 13 from the free throw line.
Thompson will hit the back end, but the point is they have not shot well at all, even though they're now shooting at 52% from the free throw line. This was a team that we talked about coming in being the team you don't want to have on the free throw line. But were we wrong? They have really struggled at the charity stripe this evening, while the Dolphins have been very good from the charity stripe for the most part.
Yeah, and they've also struggled from the three-point line, Mike. They shot 34% from the three-point line coming into the game here tonight. But a different story here tonight as they're just 2 of 15 from the three-point line.
Sorry. Eden Brocic had a chance at a 3 with 10 on the shot clock, but it bounced in and out. And Eagles get the rebound. Boggs brings it down court, takes the off-balance shot, gets a little help there from F.A. Belfour, but it is points for the Eagles. It's now 69-53, under 3 minutes to go. And a timeout is called. I believe it's a 30-second timeout. So, Mike, your thoughts so far as we're closing in on the finish here?
Yeah, you know, Mike, Bryce Boggs came into the game. He was the leading scorer for the Eagles, coming in averaging nearly 19 points a game. He shot nearly 50% from the field, and the Dolphins have done a really good job on him tonight. They've really kept him in check, and the Dolphins have played very well. And with just under 3 minutes remaining, Mike, and a 16-point Dolphin lead, you know, it would really take a miracle for the Eagles to be able to come back into this game. And, you know, the Dolphins came into this game coming off of really a tough loss against Wagner College. It was a game that the Dolphins were really looking forward to, a battle of Staten Island, you know, to play the big brother up on top of the hill. And, you know, it was the kind of game that really was a worst-case scenario for the Dolphins. They fell behind early, and they were never in it. And, you know, they had the Christmas holiday to think about and come out. And, you know, we really weren't sure how they were going to come out tonight against a team that they had never faced before. But they came out, and they did a really good job. They really picked up the play. Frankie Scittino really picked up his play in the second half, as did Khalid Baum, and the Dolphins 2 minutes and 57 seconds away from advancing into the championship game.
Sometimes taking that kind of loss, as they did against Wagner College, can be the best medicine for some teams and gives you a chance to recollect, rethink, and reset yourself, and that's what the Dolphins have done on their way to a very important win here in this Tournament of Heroes, not just from the standpoint of getting into the championship tomorrow, but obviously in their season, getting to over 500 at 6-5 overall. 2:42 to go. Scittino right now working near midcourt against Paul Brown, as he'll make his way up court now and passes it off to DeCunto. Three-point shot, no good. Tipped by Baum and then into the hands of the Eagles and Case. And Case gives it off to Boggs. Boggs working inside, back out to Case. Three-point shot, no good, off the rim. And Boggs gets the rebound. New 30-second shot clock, but for the Dolphins, they don't care. They just want the clock to continue to roll off. And that shall be put up and no good, but a foul is called. Boggs will go to the line.
Yeah, so Boggs is able to pick up the foul once again, and he'll go to the free throw line, but looks like it might be a little bit too little too late for the Eagles, as they're down by 16 with just 2 minutes and 12 seconds remaining in the game, as that foul will be charged to Rossiter. That will be his second.
Free throw is good here for Boggs. Now with 11 points, that's two players in double figures now for the Eagles overall today. And 69-54 will stay that way as the miss on the second free throw. And jumping in was Brocic. He touched it last. And the Eagles will get possession back again. So even though it's a miss, it does work out for the Eagles, as they'll get possession again in a new shot clock.
Yeah, they will, Mike, but unfortunately just 2 minutes and 11 seconds remaining if you're an Eagles fan.
Passing it off this time here to the freshman in Turner. Turner going back up top to Boggs, top of the key now. Needs some help. He is just swarmed by white shirts in the Dolphins, and that will be a no shot. But it'll be a jump ball violation, and looks like it's going to remain Eagles basketball.
It will, Mike, as 10 seconds run off the clock, and we're now down to 2 minutes and 1 second remaining here in the game.
They go back out to Brown. He slips, trips on his own 2 feet, but a nice job by Case to help him out. Takes the shot, no good. Now rebound for the Dolphins, even though another whistle is blown again. Too many whistles called here down on this side of the court here, Mike, in the last minute.
Boy, oh boy, Mike. That's going to be a loose ball foul on the Dolphins. A tough call, and it's going to send Cope to the free throw line to shoot 2, as that foul will be called on Baum. That will be his third.
Cope with the free throw shot, misses the first. And again, the free throws continue to be an issue for the Eagles as their percentage continues to go down.
And we've now had 54 free throws in this game, Mike, including 28 for the Eagles, but they've hit just half of them, and now less than half. And
Cope now 1 for 4.
That's tough on the road, Mike.
Cope 1 for 4 at the free throw line. 1:40 to go, and the Dolphins that much closer. About 95 seconds from making their trip to the championship against Middlebury, and what might be a fantastic matchup tomorrow. We can't wait for that one, and a big shot here by Roster might be kind of the icing on the cake here with about 90 seconds to go.
8 points for Robert here tonight.
Shot put up, no good. Nice rebound there for Baum, and I'm really looking forward to this game tomorrow, Mike, between CSI and Middlebury. When you talk about a CSI team that, yes, has struggled at times with their offense, needs to find a way to have a good performance against the Middlebury team that really does shoot the ball very well, as we saw here tonight.
Yeah, that's going to be a tremendously exciting game, Mike. It's going to be a great championship game. We're going to have the early game that's going to take place between Bridgewater and Illinois Wesleyan. That'll be a great opener. 5:15 pregame show, 5:30 opening tip, and College of Staten Island will look to win their second consecutive Tournament of Heroes championship, as they're going to get to face a very good 8-1 Middlebury team tomorrow night. So it's been a great night of basketball here at the CSI Sports and Recreation Center. Night number 1 of the Tournament of Heroes, and looking forward to even more excitement, Mike, tomorrow night.
Yeah, it's going to be a great night. We'll see if the Dolphins can get another win in the Tournament of Heroes, looking for their 3rd overall and 2nd straight if they can. 40 seconds to go. Shatino, the off-balance 3-point shot, no good. And a rebound here for the Eagles, as checking in was the senior team, Tim Dugan, as he got the rebounds. And that's a shot and a 3-pointer, for the freshman, as he hits the 3-pointer and makes it a 71-57 game. That's for Kenneth Turner. 19 seconds to go. Shot clock still on, though. About a half-second difference. So the Dolphins will have to take a shot here. Hope for a rebound, and this game will be over. But a big win for the Dolphins, as they'll get to 6-5 on the year. A big non-conference win as well for CSI. And that's something they've been looking for a while, as this game is just about over with 0.3 of a second remaining. And we'll just inbound here, and this game will be over. The Dolphins are on their way to face Middlebury tomorrow night at 7:30, as we'll have that game for you here on CSI Sportsnet, but we'll also have the consolation game between Illinois Wesleyan and Bridgewater. That'll be a tough test for Bridgewater, as we know Illinois Wesleyan is going to be licking their wounds after a tough loss to Middlebury. So, Mike, your thoughts very quickly here on this finish for the Dolphins.
Yeah, Mike, we mentioned before, it was a big game for the Dolphins here tonight. Their final 2 games before they really get into the conference schedule in earnest, with a big game against Baruch College. It was a nice game for the Dolphins here tonight, a big bounce back for that tough loss against Wagner College, and now an opportunity to come out tomorrow night, play against a very good Bridgewater team. But regardless, Mike, worst case scenario is that they've gotten a win here in the tournament here. They've upped their record to 6-5, and they kind of playing with a little bit of house money tomorrow. Going to play against a tough Middlebury team, all with an eye on January 4th against Baruch College and the start of the CUNYAC Championship, as the College of Staten Island looks to get back on top of the CUNYAC Conference and secure that automatic conference bid.
And that's what they're looking for. We're going to get the final stats for you now. First, Frank Shatino with 6 for 13 from the floor. did struggle from the free-throw line, Mike. He was 4 out of 12, but did have 8 boards and 7 assists, 16 points. Kalik Baum had a big day, 5 out of 8 shooting, 9 for 9 from the free-throw line, Mike. He had 9 boards and 1 assist, and he had 19 points on the day. Your thoughts on the 2 key players for the Dolphins?
Yeah, you know, Mike, Kalik Baum was 5 of 6 and 7 of 7 from the line in the second half with 6 rebounds. Just an absolute fantastic second half for Kalik Baum. And, you know, I thought really the difference and the game turned when Tito was able to hit those couple of shots in a row, then 3 beautiful assists inside to Kalik Baum, and then Baum hitting his free throws late in the second half. And you put it all together, the Dolphins outscoring Bridgewater 35-26 in the first half, 36-31 in the second half. They go pull away to a nice 16-point victory. And you know what, Mike? As well as they played tonight, they're going to have to play much better tomorrow if they're going to be able to defeat a very strong Middlebury team that's coming in with a lot of momentum, having just knocked off the 18th ranked team in the country.
Well, we saw a guy in Matt Say No More who just dominated that game, especially in the second half. He got 23 points from Middlebury. Had Jack Daly, who